when William D. Boyce offered to give that boy, I think it was like either a tip or some money for his assistance, he said, "No, sir, I can't take that. I'm a scout." And, that really struck home to him. So he, learned everything he could about the scouting program, came back to the United States, brought the idea, and it'll be 100 years ago in 2010 when Boy Scouting started.
You talked a little bit about sort of the importance of the creed, the oath, and those types of things. Tell me a little bit about those.
Well, the law that we live by as scouting, it teaches us to be trustworthy and honest and reverent, and it has 12 points that we all live by, and it's there as a guideline for a good citizen, good person. If everybody lived by it, we wouldn't need scouting. But scouting is what really teaches the young men of America to be the next leaders of America and to have America remain the moral, principle-led country that we are.
Very good, very good. And then that's the law, and then there's an oath, which is similar, and
The oath is similar, basically breaks down into 3 specific points: duty to self, duty to God, and then duty to country. And so those 3 principles in the Scout Oath are what really are the other driving fact. We have signs out at our camp that all the rules that govern our camp are what are in the Scout Oath and Law. Because honestly, in the Scout Oath and Law, I believe everyone will find all the points that they need to kind of govern their life in a good manner.
okay. So we have the national or international scouting program, and they've got a big celebration for the 100th anniversary going on in England right now, or it just occurred.
Yeah.
Then from there is a big gathering coming up 3 years from now. Is that what I'm guessing? So you said 1910 is when they came to the United States, so this will be 2010 will be the 100th anniversary.
Correct. 2010 will be the 100th anniversary.
And where will that occur, and what will the types of things be going on there?
Every 4 years, there's a national jamboree that's held at Fort A.P. Hill in West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. And that is the national jamboree where scouts from all over the United States come together. It was supposed to happen in 2009,
Okay.
but they bumped it back 1 more year in order for it to fall on the 100th anniversary of scouting. So that will be a very momentous occasion for scouting. And, the boys that are in the program now and the adult leaders that have the opportunity to go to that, it'll be a very unique experience that they'll be able to put in their scouting resume. And then in 2011, I believe, is going to be the 100th anniversary of the Order of the Arrow, if I don't have that date right
Sometime
or not.
there.
But-
Tell me,
yeah.
what is the Order of the Arrow?
Yep. Go for it.
The Order of the Arrow is Scouting's National Honor Society. It's a group based around Scout-honored campers. It's the Scouts that have been in the program a while. It's a great retention tool because a lot of times when youth get their eagle at 13, 14, at a young age, they tend to drop off sometimes, and that's one of the things that, beyond the troop, helps support troop program and keeps those youth in longer, and that's the one that you're a youth until you're 21.
Okay.
We're based around service. We teach servant leadership. That's what we live by. We do service to the camp, to the community, and really to the nation.
Okay. So that is sort of an exclusive, or you have to be brought into that group by a ceremony and those types of things.
Yep, your
And-
peers elect you in.
Right. And I would assume our council then, and let's step back here. The Scenic Trails Council covers what counties now?
The Scenic Trail Council covers 13 counties in northwest lower Michigan.
So sort of, I assume, sort of in the Sheboygan area, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, we've Sheboygan, Charlevoix counties, Antrim, Emmett, Otsego,
Okay.
and then it goes as far south as Leelanau, Grand Traverse, and Kalkaska, and continues down through Benzie, Manistee, Wexford,
Wow.
Missaukee, and Osceola
Okay.
counties.
Yep.
So we've got a very large range of areas that we oversee, but, a great area, a great little niche part of Michigan
Right.
that we oversee.
And so, so that group, and then how, is there different groups within that as far as the Order of the Arrow goes, or how does that work?
Each council is broken up into some type of areas called districts.
Okay.
And we have 3 districts in our council, and those 3 districts each have their own branches of the Order of the Arrow in our area. The Scenic Trails Council Order of the Arrow Lodge is named Indian Drum Lodge, and inside that lodge, there's 4 different segments called chapters.
Okay, very good.
So,
And your primary focus has been to help keep retention of older scouts?
Yep. Retain older scouts, promote camping, and just do service.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like what types of service do you do?
Recently, we've done a lot of service for our camp. We go out there, we get stuff ready for summer camp, we build buildings, paint buildings. We installed a sprinkler system with the help of volunteers from in the council. We promote the camp itself, bringing people into the camp. That's one of our main focuses, because what good is all the work we do if nobody comes?
Right. Very good. And so like for this summer, are you pleased with how things are shaping up back at Camp Greilick?
Definitely. It's my mother actually drove into camp a couple weeks ago and said, "Man, you guys have done wonders with this. It's beautiful." But what I saw it as a camper and what it is today, it's vastly different.
Yeah.
Beautiful changes have been made, and it's wonderful.
Now, talk about some of the broad things that the scouting program does. You know, I know that there's sort of what you would call the traditional camping and outdoors activities, but if I remember correctly, there's areas in art and music, and what are some of the different programs?
the Boy Scouts of America have got a merit badge program that the Boy Scouts can work on to help their advancement towards Eagle. And in that merit badge program, I believe there's over 120 different merit badges that range from topics as agricultural to tractor transportation to
We have
nuclear
nuclear
science.
Really?
You know, there's a huge broad spectrum of what they can do. And at Camp Greilick specifically, we've got probably around 50 different merit badges that we offer, ranging everywhere from, like you said, the specific outdoors things like pioneering, orienteering, and camping, getting as high adventure-like as shotgun shooting and or climbing, and then cycling would be another one. And then those that, as Josh stated earlier, aren't typically the merit badges you might find at a regular summer camp, such as communications, theater, cinematography,
Wow.
photography, some unique badges that have been brought to us by a unique group of staff members. You know, we've been very fortunate at Greilick over the last decade to have a lot of returning staff members come year after year because they care so much about the scouting program. And that's one of the things that has turned Camp Greilick into one of the, I would say, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but one of the premier scout camps in the state of Michigan.
Wow, that's great.
We're getting a lot of recognition and a lot more units from outside of our council, outside of our 13 counties, coming to our camp in the summer. So,
For instance, we're one of only 3 camps in the nation that have a ham radio station with a
Oh, really?
full-time operator. I mean,
Wow.
we've talked to people in the Azores and Bahamas, all over the world,
Wow.
and there's only right around 3 in the nation that have it.
That's wonderful. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about some of the good things that are happening on the national level, good things that are happening on camp. Tell me a little bit about what a typical, this fall, a lot of kids will be joining different groups. What does a typical Cub Scout den and Cub Scout pack do during the year?
Cub Scout dens and Cub Scout packs are the primary group of scouts that we've got. You know, like I said, they're that first grade through 5th grade age range of boys. And typically, a pack is